Hello YouTube! Welcome to the very first video of my drawing series. This video is intended for people that absolutely have no idea how to draw. We're going to be working on basic line work and shapes. The materials you will need are a few decent quality number 2 pencils. Mine is Dixon brand, a decent quality sharpener. I have a Unison sharpener. A big eraser, and a shader like the one I show you how to make in another video. I will have that linked below. And of course, something to draw on, be it a sketchbook or just plain old copy paper. The idea here is to keep our setup as simple and minimalist as possible. Anything more tends to distract from the actual making of the art. One must learn to use the basic tools before they can start introducing more complex ones. Also, it saves money, and the way I want to do this series is so that it may be accessible to anybody no matter their age or budget. Now let us begin. There are a few ways to make a line, and you will have to find the best way that works for you. The first way I'm going to show you is something that my shop teacher showed me. What you do is you grab the pencil from around the tip of the pencil. Keep a lot of tension in your hand, and you move your entire arm to make the line. Just like that. I'm going to try another one using this technique. A little bit faster. It tends to create a more smoother product. How about we make one more line using the exact same method I showed you. Alright. Another way you can make a line is by anchoring your wrist down, moving your hand down the neck of the pencil a little bit farther towards halfway the pencil, and then moving your fingers across to draw the line. Let me illustrate. Now this isn't the most efficient way to make a line. Your lines are going to be limited to a certain amount of length. I don't really see in too many applications where you're going to be making really long lines. If you have to make a really long straight line, you'll most likely just use a ruler. But this is a good way to practice control over the pencil. Let's make another line with our anchored wrist method. And another one. Alright, it's going to be a little harder to get these lines when you're just beginning. You might not have the motor control required for it. So this last step I want to show you is more of a sketch style. This is how I started out. I'm pretty sure how we all start out, right? But anyways, how we do the sketch style is we make short staccato lines. There's really not much to it. You don't have to keep as much tension in your hand as much as you do with the other ones. Let's try another one. Just loose and easy. Nothing to it. And that's the method I'm going to be using for the rest of the series. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys a few shapes. Alright, let's draw some shapes. Let's draw a circle, just short staccato lines, just sketch it out. Just stay patient. Keep making your lines. You can't go wrong. The theory here is that eventually you make so many lines around the general area, at least one of them has to be the correct line. The correct line is in there somewhere. Don't you see it? You might not see it with your eye, but you see it with your eye. And so we got our sketchy line. It's kind of everywhere right now. Clean it up. Really want to bring it out. We could put a real heavy line. Just one heavy line. Right through it. And that's how you draw a circle. Let's try another one. Same thing. Let's make it a little bigger. If you gotta move your wrist, move your wrist. Don't force yourself into an uncomfortable position, or you're gonna end up with something like that. This circle's a little flat. Not flat, but ovalish. I think flat was a good word for it. Kind of like a flat tire. Oh, that's better, right? Now the point of shapes is you're going to be using them to block in more complex objects. Blocking in is something we're going to be covering whenever we get to still lifes. There, another circle. All right. Let's try something different now. Let's make a square. Here's your square. Let's put a square in this square. All right. There's no need to be perfect. These are just simple shapes. You get it close enough, you're doing pretty good. All right, what about a triangle? Let's try a triangle. There's your triangle. Easy, easy cheesy. How about a trapezoid? Let's do a trapezoid. That shouldn't be too hard, right? And that's all it is. Circles, squares, and triangles. Everything else is just a variation of it. This trapezoid, it's two triangles and a rectangle. What are those things called? The diamond looking ones? A rhombus. That one. You know what I'm talking about. That's just two triangles. Circles, rectangles, triangles. That's all you need to know. Just keep practicing. Keep practicing your shapes. Fill up a whole page worth of shapes. That's how artists study. When they want to understand a particular subject, they just draw the same subject over and over, maybe a little differently. I think I had a sketchbook where I had a whole page filled with different kind of noses. just noses off of people's faces. It's a good way to learn, just repetition. Repetition is a great learning tool. A few other notes, just practice control to try to make lines that are straight and as long as possible. The difference between an experienced artist and an inexperienced artist is motor control. But anyway, that concludes this lesson. I hope you found it helpful and will join me on my next lesson.